Good evening, everybody. Sanibonani, welcome to Reality Buzz TV. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to do episode 4 of The Real Housewives of Durban. Isn't it moving too fast? I can't believe that we are in episode 4 already, you guys. I loved this episode, you guys, but I can already see the games that are being played here. I do feel like the newbies are being naive, okay? Because they don't understand the game yet. They don't see that the OGs are not working as much. Instead of working, they are giving the newbies the information, and the newbies will be the ones that are fighting each other. I don't think that they're saying it, you guys. But Shady Sorisha is back this season. Okay. Sorisha is very shady. But she's trying to act like she's not being shady this season, but we're going to talk about it, you guys. Listen, so they are continuing with that game that they were playing in the last episode, where they were being asked the questions about each other, or they were making statements about each other. And remember that we had a thing of a pathological liar, and now there is a thing about somebody that faked a hijacking. Okay. So now they have to talk about who faked the hijacking. I honestly think that Amy was trying to draw the attention away from herself by saying, you know what, I think it's Jojo, because Jojo is a crybaby. She probably wanted to go and cry, go Kelvin. That's why maybe she faked a hijacking. I also think that because Amy is new, I don't think that she expected that on her first day. Okay, it wasn't her first day to shooting, because she had been shooting with Usli, but I felt like it was her first day sitting down with the ladies. I don't think that she expected that there was going to be anything that was going to come out about her. I don't think that she thought anybody was going to come for her. And so she did not expect that they were saying that about her, even though she knows there is a story about her and a certain hijacking, you guys. If you want to see a video, maybe you don't know the story about the hijacking or the fake hijacking, just go and search Amy, her name, and hijacking. There's a video here on YouTube where she is telling the story of what happened and why people possibly thought that that was a fake hijacking, you guys. But she tells the full story. Okay. So after people guess who it might be that faked a hijacking, and Amy also was like, I think that it's Jojo. Then, the Mercy Zama says, you know what, I think it's Amy. Okay. And then everybody is like, oh, so you are the one that wrote the question. I like how Usli, you guys, has Amy's back, because I did say, you guys, that the best person to join the show with is Usli, because Usli joined the show last season and she did not have a good time joining the show. She wasn't treated well, especially by the person that had brought her to the show. So I think because she still remembers, it's still fresh in her mind how it feels like to be a newbie. I think she's the best person to bring somebody, because she's going to do all of the things that were not done for her when she was coming on as a newbie in the new season. Okay. So I like how Lee has Emmy's back. It's like, girl, I'm not going to bring you here to this ladies and then be the one that's attacking you, be the one that's giving them information about you. I'm going to have your back, because she's one of those people that actually asked Zama, so are you the one that actually asked this question? Okay, because remember, like I said last week, she confirmed that everybody was asked to write a statement about somebody or a question, and that was going to be used during this game. So she says, listen, yeah, I did write that. And she says, you know what? I might have Googled you a little bit. Okay. And I don't understand, you guys, why everybody acted like it's such a bad thing that Uzama Googled Emmy, because who's gonna go on a reality show with a cast full of women? Like, you're gonna go and be with like 7, 8 women that you don't know, but you're not even gonna take the time to Google them, find out what they do, what they do for a living, who they married to, what shows they've been in, how many seasons they've been in. When it comes to the Real Housewives, you really are going to go on a reality show without Googling somebody? I don't understand why they're acting like it's a big deal. I do think that everybody Googles everybody. I feel like when they find out who is going to join the show, they go and they Google the person, and then they go and they shoot with the person, and they pretend that they never Googled them and they don't know anything about them. So I don't think that it's weird that Uzama Googled Emmy, okay? But I do feel like it's shade that out of all of the things that she could have mentioned about to Amy, she decided to come for her about the hijacking, something that is so sensitive, okay? Now, Amy explains it and says, listen, there's a whole video here on the internet where I'm explaining what happened with the hijacking, you guys. She does, it's a long story. I wish that I could tell her story and be able to make it short, but it is a long story of the hijacking, you guys. She was hijacked. She had an ex-husband, that I don't really want to talk about, go search in the internet, you'll find out who the ex-husband is. And I guess had this friend, this lady whom she thought was her friend, who ended up working with her ex-husband to arrange this hijacking, allegedly. They took the car, and then the lady acted like she didn't know what was happening. And then at some point, she finds out with this very same lady that had been her friend and was there during the hijacking, was driving this car somewhere in Joburg. That's when she realized that the hijacking was fake. And then the ex-husband had said that she had faked the hijacking because obviously she had reported to the police, and now the police are finding out that the lady is driving the car somewhere, and then they're like, what's happening here? And the husband was like, no, she wasn't hijacked, I just took the car, So it's a story like that, you guys. She says it was very traumatizing because she was with her kids at the time. She wouldn't lie about something like that. She even says, in trying to prove that that story is true, she says, listen, I have a video where I was telling a story with my daughter because my daughter was there during the hijacking. Because when she was doing that video, guys, I'm like, why would you have your daughter when you tell such a story? But she says, in her defense, she is saying that her daughter was actually, during the time when she was telling the story in a video, she was reminding her of certain things that had happened during the hijacking. Like I saw the video, the daughter does do that, even though I did feel like it was inappropriate for her to do a video while her daughter is there, because I thought if this happened while your daughter was there, she must be traumatized. So why are you doing it in front of her? Why are you retelling a story in front of her? But I also think that, okay, it is kind of proof that it happened because her daughter would say at certain places, oh, mommy, this is what happened. Oh, mommy, this is what happened. Okay. So she says that. Okay. So now she gets upset because she realizes the whole thing is about her. The fake hijacking thing is about her. She's trying to defend herself and say, listen, this is what happened. There's a video. I told the story if you want to know. So now Zama says, so why would people think that you faked the hijacking? And Uzama's like, Em is like, but what people is like the internet, okay? Emmy says people on the internet never said that she was lying about the hijacking. The person that said she was lying about the hijacking was the husband. I think now he's the ex-husband, was the husband who told people that she had lied about the hijacking. Because obviously, you guys, if I'm driving a car and then I tell people, look, I got hijacked, okay, people took my car. And then the next thing, my husband is in somewhere with some lady driving the car, people are going to be like, okay, so what's happening here? And then my husband is like, no, man, I took that car. She's lying. Some people might believe that really, honestly, there wasn't any hijacking. I don't know why the husband didn't just go and ask for the car, you guys. Why so much? Why so much drama? Okay. Now, Zama makes a statement that is interesting. She says, listen, the streets are talking. Okay. A lot of the times when people say the streets are talking, and nowadays they're not really talking about the streets. Okay. Because they'll be wanting us to think because they know anything about the street life when we know they know nothing about the street life. When they say that, they mean the internet is talking, okay? Emmy's like, listen, you might be for the street, but I'm not for the streets, okay? I don't run the streets. So if you say the streets are talking, I don't know what the streets are saying because I'm not for the street, okay? And then she was like, so why are you charging at me? Because I think Emmy, I realize she does have a temper issue. Okay. I think it's going to be a problem on Real Housewives because people will be, people are always testing you. Where are your points? Where can they push you? And I think that if you have a temper on Real Housewives, it's going to be a problem, just like Jojo. You just have to say one wrong thing to Jojo, and she's throwing glasses and throwing tables. Okay. So I do think Emmy, Bible saying she's quick in anger, usheshadino. And she has this thing about if you mention my kids, okay, nobody mentioned her kids, but I got her point that because her kids were there, she's like, why would I fake a hijacking when I went through that with my kids? My kids were traumatized by this event. Why would I even lie about that, you guys? She was very heated. She did not like it, okay? And at some point, Zama wasn't looking good because it was like, lady, what are you trying to do? Asking this question, you guys. Listen, I do feel like the newbies are showing up and are showing up to work. I feel like Angel is showing up and working. I feel like Zama is showing up and working. Even the fact, because guys, the OGs wouldn't have been brave enough to ask that question, even if they knew, they would have gossiped away from the person that they're supposed to talk about. The fact that she actually asked the question, Uzama, that's showing up for work. Okay, we might think that she's messy, but I like that she did it. Okay, and the fact that Amy was like, listen, you are not going to come for me on the first day that I come over here to sit down with you guys. Lungi, angivulela umnyango, ngivule ngamabom laphaya, ningavani. So she's like, listen, you're not just going to come for me. If you come for me, you're going to get it back, you guys. And then she was like, screw you, Zama. So I guess, you guys, from that interaction, we can make a determination that these ladies are probably not going to be friends. Okay. I don't know. I don't see Amy becoming friends with Zama, even though there is somewhere where it says that Amy did become friends with Angel. I guess from the interaction in this episode, maybe I can see Angel being friends with Amy. So that's how it goes. I guess the party ends there because everybody is acting like they're shocked that somebody Googled somebody. Okay. Did you Google all of us? I would have been like, yeah, I Googled you. Okay. Googled you. Okay. I'm not going to go shoot a show with somebody that I have not Googled. Guys, let me just share this on my community post. I forgot to share it so that people will know that I'm here. So let me do that. So see, now I've closed the comment line. I don't see the comment. Hi, no Fundo. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here. Thank you so much. Imagine buying someone a car and go hijack it. And it's like a theme, guys. Okay. We know all about the cars. It's either the car is getting hijacked or taken by the police, repossession, confiscated kind of a situation. So now I don't know, you guys. I guess like if you wanted the car back, why didn't you take the car back? It seemed like it's so dramatic to do that. There's the kids, there's the friend. The story that she tells is so complicated just for them to be able to take the car back. I don't get it, you guys. So listen, you guys. So now we get the sit down between Ujojo and no Sorisha. Here's the thing that I don't get about Jojo and her friendships is that because she's friends with Nonku, she doesn't want to be friends with anybody that is not a friend to Nonku. I don't know if you guys see that. It's like even when she was making up with Maria, it was very important to Jojo that Maria makes up with Unonku so that she can continue being friends with Maria. It's like I can't be friends with you unless you're friends with Nonku. So even with Sorisha, it's only now because I feel like they don't really have big issues with each other, but it's weird between the two of them. And now that Sorisha has made up with Unonku, now they can sit down and have a talk. It's weird for me, you guys. It's like, so are you only ever going to be friends with somebody when they are able to be friends with Unonku? I know it shows loyalty, but at the same time, there's a level of immaturity because what if you can get along with somebody that doesn't get along with your friend, especially people that you work with? I don't know. That's a weird situation for me, you guys. So they said that Jojo initiated a sit down, which is also another thing that shows us that she initiated it because Sorisha had already spoken to Nonku. So now that Sorisha is okay with Nonku, now she's initiating a sit down, you guys. And they talk about last year. I did not feel, you guys, that directly Sorisha nor Jojo had issues like with each other. But Sonisha did make certain comments about Jojo being spoiled, being a spoiled brat, which all of us can see. I don't think that anybody disagreed with that, especially last season. Jojo was acting like a spoiled brat. So she just feels like they had, I guess both of them are feeling like they just had a misunderstanding last year. It didn't feel like it was that serious, but they are both willing to move forward with each other, you guys. And then they get to talk about Zama's event, you guys. Listen, we need to pay attention to the OGs because the OGs are being very, very messy, but they don't want to get their hands dirty, okay? Because all of the things that are coming up about the newbies are really originally coming from the OGs, but the OGs are pretending like they know nothing about it. But let's just pay attention, you guys, okay? And I do feel like Angel, Emmy, and Zama are being played, but they don't see it. I wish that they could just see that they're being played here, and they're going to end up just being the ones that are fighting with each other. I do think that possibly at this reunion, the OGs are going to be the most relaxed that we've ever seen them. And the people that are going to be fighting at the reunion is Angel, Emmy, and Zama, because that is how the OGs have set it up, okay? So you guys, they talk about Zama's event, and everybody agrees, you guys, they're tired of that game. I don't know why the producers are not more creative. Like, just create another game, create something different, okay? That they can play. Why do you have to bring back the game that was played the season before and the season before that? I don't understand. They're saying they're tired of that game because that game always gets messy at the end, okay? Then they're saying, okay, fine. Now they do want to play fun games. If they do play games, I also think that you guys, they're allowed to have fun, even though they're in a reality show, but it's always good to get drama here and there, okay? Now they start talking about Uzama, and they're saying Uzama has been, this is Jojo's story, that Uzama has been calling different people in the cast, talking about Angel, and she says that Angel is lying about businesses. Remember, I think Angel's parents have businesses, and then Angel at some point was working for her father. There's an interview that she did here with Ulungelo, and is it Lunga? Yes. She did an interview, and she talks about the fact that after she completed her studies, she couldn't find a job for the longest time, and she was determined to not work for her dad until she realized there was the option for her. After that, she says she didn't regret it because it was the greatest thing to do, to actually go and work at her father's businesses. So she started working at her father's businesses, and then she talks about how she then, after that, also started her own businesses. So definitely she does work with her father. Does she co-own the businesses, you guys? I mean, I don't know, you guys. I don't know if she's a shareholder, a director, a what in any of her father's businesses. But it looked to me like she's the only child. So maybe she's right even saying it's her businesses, because if she's the only child, maybe Veli as Salanama business. I don't know, you guys. But that is what they're saying Zama is claiming when she's speaking to people. She's telling people, listen, this kid here doesn't own any businesses, okay? Maybe it's because Zama doesn't own no business. So she just can't believe that someone that young owns businesses. It is shady that she's talking. But here's the thing, you guys. Gossip goes both ways. Okay, there are people that even when you start gossiping, they'll be like, listen, I'm gossip, so let's talk about something else. But a lot of the times when you start gossiping with somebody, it's an exchange. Okay, it's like, girl, did you hear? Umzwile ethi business kuphi? Mngani nami ngizwile lento ukuthi uthi business lani lo. Umgosi not, imagine Uzama calling unonku Angel calling us Leslie, Angel didn't, and all of them are not saying anything. They're just saying, yeah, hey, yeah. No, that's the part that for me, it was like, they want us to think that Uzama is calling everybody gossiping, and they don't gossip back. And they want us to think that they don't gossip about the same thing with each other without Uzama. No, it's impossible. They definitely are gossiping. But I feel like they have made a decision this season that Uzama is going to be that villain that we always have on the show. They've made that decision. The OGs made that decision that it was going to be Zama. I think they tried to make it Angel, and maybe that wasn't the goal for the producers, but they are determined to make it Uzama, okay? And it's working out because Naye, I guess we are gossiper, so it's difficult for her to say, no, I did not say that when they say she did, okay? So, and anyway, let me say this, you guys. This is why I think Sorisha is upset with Zama, okay? Remember, there is a question that was asked. Who is pretending to be happy in a marriage? Okay, and Maria ended up saying it's her because she did not want to get messy. Okay, I think that question was most likely asked by Uzama, and I think that question was directed to Sorisha. Yeah. So I think even though she can't say what I'm upset with Zama because Zama asked the question, and I think that question was because guys, very rich sometimes. Yeah, you just have to pretend to be happy. Anyway, Mali does make you happy, you know. But again, when you get into the bottom of the marriage, are you happy? Because Uncle Viv hardly ever shows up from what we see. So I do feel like Sorisha is upset with that, okay? Because all of a sudden she's like done, they say it's not a 360, it's a 180 when it comes to Zama. Now Zama is like, you know, she's like, I know Zama, but we're not bosoms. Oh, okay, now you're not bosoms. And you guys, so Sorisha is like, listen, I know all about Zama's endless men. String of men. I'm like, string of men. Hey. Guys, when you are 40 years old, you everybody, guys, it's if you don't have a string of men at 40, everybody can find somebody's string of men at 40 because they just have to gather all of your ex-boyfriend and be like, you've dated this one and this one and this one. Like, yeah, I did because it wasn't working out. I had to kiss all of the frogs. I don't think it's weird if somebody has a string of men that they've dated at 40 years old, guys. I don't think that that's strange. Maybe what would be strange is if they are saying that Uzama dated all of these men at the same time. But at 40, you must have a string of men. Because you've dated just a few people before you got to that one person that you're like, okay, this is the one. Okay. So, and anyway, she says that there's this string of men. This is Sorisha, guys. I told you, Sorisha, the message Sorisha is back. She says there is a string of men that have dated Uzama. They all regret it. I'm like, hey, ubatate pilabo bab. They do as they all there is a public document. I'm like, hey, document is a ding. There is a public document that is talking about a string of men that have dated Uzama and they all regret dating her. Also, there must be something about her age because they need to see her ID. And I was like, yeah, this one. Nakumala guys, I said, because I Uzama mina guys Uzama. I can't be 44 and Uzama is 40. And I was just thinking about it. I was like, I need to think about this because I remember sitting on the couch back at home. Was I not in high school watching Uzama on Generation? And I was like, I can't be 44 and she's 40. Okay. But I was like, maybe I miscalculated. But guys, Google does say that she was born in 1983. So I guess, I mean, maybe she is. Maybe she is 40, you guys. But Sorisha is like, we need to see an ID. Okay. because something is not adding up with the age. So I guess the age question during the whole thing was written by Sorisha for Uzama, okay? And then Jojo was just trying to get advice from Sorisha about the age gap relationship. Remember, even Sorisha, Babu Vivian phela mdala nje kakhulu, nangalana uJojo naye ulona uKelvin umdala, uKelvin ufuna ukuretire. Guys, like I can see the challenge. I guess it's nice for a man when you get a younger wife, but I can also see how challenging it is because Jojo is a lot of energy, okay? And she won't let Kelvin rest, okay? I do wonder, you guys, when Kelvin like really like reaches, like, you know, as a katelamadolo, guys, after 60, it's I don't care what's on Jima when after 60 it's so I'm just wondering, you guys, how that relationship is going to be because I think the age thing, Ujojo is feeling it right now because of the changes that they are going through. So Usorisha says she actually prefers Vivian to work. I think while a lot of us are feeling like Vivian doesn't show up a lot because he's always at work, and Usorisha prefers that. And it's like, listen, find him a hobby so that he is not on your case a lot, or maybe you can start a business together, something that is not too challenging where you can spend time together, but Niben Sebenza at the same time. I get that, you guys, because I think if they're just lazing around in the house doing nothing and just spending money, it might not work out. I think Kelvin has a plan, guys. I like Kelvin's plan to say, listen, I've been the one that is going out working, selling all of this meat because they own Bluff Meat and Yeti, the butcheries. So he's like, now I'm retiring. You've got an art studio. Your art sells and makes a lot of money. I'll manage that for you. You make money instead of giving the money away. Now we're not going to give it away because I've retired. Okay. Now, you guys, Jojo doesn't want that. I do like the fact that Jojo has been giving money away to charity because, I mean, it's a good thing. But I also do get Kelvin's point that you can't give away all of the money that you work for. We have to keep some for ourselves. So I think they have a plan, you guys, even though Jojo is a little bit nervous about the fact that Kelvin is about to retire. Okay. Now, you guys, um, Amy was with a lady called Sissy. At some point, I thought it's her best friend, but then she was like talking about how they are a year apart, so they grew up like twins. And I was like, okay, it must be her sister then. And she's just like updating her about the ladies. And of course, she's gonna tell her about Zama, how crazy Zama was. And she's like, listen, I don't want to end up with the mug shots. I already have mug shots. And I was like, should we be finding these mug shots? Guys, they need to make like arrest. You know, in America, like you can just go on the internet and get somebody's mug shots and get what they were arrested for, how long they were in prison. It's so hard in South Africa to get that information. Or maybe I don't know how to get it. I wish that I could get. She says she has mug shots. So listen, she's not trying to get arrested. So I was like, hey, Ozama, they need to be careful here. Okay. Now, you guys, she talks about how her kids, I was like, maybe here is where we get why Amy is so sensitive when it comes to her kids. Because sometimes they're just talking and then she gets sensitive and then she gets defensive when it comes to her kids. First, she was defensive about the fact that they showed us her saying that she chose a man over her kids. She made a big deal online about that. She said the producers were not supposed to present it that way. Now, she was also sensitive when they were talking about the hijacking because it involved her kids. And then here she was explaining that her kids had to go to boarding school because she was going through depression. And she felt like it wasn't okay for them to see her in that state. And I was like, okay, I do understand now why she's so sensitive. Well, we already are sensitive when it comes to our kids, guys. If you're a mom, you will know that you're already sensitive. You know, a person would say one thing and it's just, don't touch my kids. It's everybody's thing. But I do understand now because she was going through a hard time. She had to make that decision to send her kids away. And when you do that, you guys, you ask yourself all the time if you're making the right decision for your kids. I do feel like if you're not emotionally okay and mentally okay, it is the right decision to decide, you know what, maybe it's not the right thing. I'm not able to take care of my kids. Let me put them in a boarding school. Okay. But I do understand why she's sensitive when talking about it, you guys. They do talk about the father, which I'm assuming it's the ex-husband. She's saying she's not going to allow him to see the kids. Okay. Listen, I need to know more about what happened with their relationship for me to make a judgment on whether that is the right decision or not. For now, it doesn't sound right because it's very difficult for me to say that it's okay for the kids to not see their dad if he is willing and available to see them. Okay, so it depends what the situation is. I don't feel like I have enough details to even judge the situation and say no, she must let the kids see their father. But she is determined to say, listen, he does not need to see the kids. She says that she does not feel like during that whole hijacking saga he should have protected them, but he didn't. Obviously, you guys, if he was responsible for the hijacking, then that makes sense. Your kids were there. Why would you do it when the kids were there? It could have been done another time, provided that the story that he was the one that was responsible for the hijacking. So yes, it doesn't make sense that why would you do it when your kids are there? So she's saying, listen, I need to protect my kids so they're not gonna see their father. I think it's unfortunate, but I mean, what can we say? Jojo and Nonku's relationship beyond a high, childish and peer pressure. It does. At the same time, I want to say that it's because Jojo is young, but I'm like, no, man, she's in her 30s now. She's only younger than Kelvin at this point. She's not young, I always just think of her as like a baby. But when you really think about it, guys, when you're in your 30s, you're not a baby anymore. But yeah, it's now childish. But you guys, I've gotten to a point where I do believe that their relationship or friendship is really genuine. They really do like and love each other. Ujojo no Nonku. How long and how it's gonna last, I don't know, but I do believe that friendship, because I'm a friendship reality show, you guys. It's like touch and go. Sometimes people are only friends during the season, and then off season they don't even know what's happening with each other. So with them, I do feel like they're real friends. Even with Maria and Jojo, you guys, because they've been seen together outside of the show, I do feel like they really did make up. Okay, so now Zama and Nonko, they met. Okay. This is where things get you know. I do feel like the OGs are coming with an attitude of, listen, you guys, we've been here longer, so you better listen to me. I'm going to give you advice on how to maneuver this thing. And maybe they are right, you guys, but I do feel like the newbies are not really receptive, you know? They're like, you know? So Nonkwenzama gets to sit down. It feels to me like Uzama came with an attitude of, listen, I'm here to get to know you. You are here to get to know me. I think she thought the meeting was going to be about her and Nonku, okay? Because by Jesu Bobabili, Amen, Hallelujah, they were going to open a scripture and decide to go to, they are going to open a church somewhere. I think Zama thought that. I thought Bazotanda Bavule Bible study, and they were going to, you know, decide when the home sale was going to be. But it wasn't about that. So she was disappointed. I think Unonku, you guys, she was coming to disciple. I'm talking in terms of the church because but the Bobabila, my church, whatever. I'm a church goers, but okay. You know, that's some I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Gogo, you know, the preachers in the show. So, you know, Unonko and I was coming to correct Lona Uzama. So I think, you know, that's where they missed each other. I feel like it could have worked if Unonko just came and say, listen, I'm not going to talk about other people, issues with other people. I'm just going to talk about, this is me and Zama. Let me get to know Uzama outside of the group because they haven't done that, just the both of them. Okay. So now Unonko just goes straight into, oh, well, Uzama was asking about the gifts. I guess Zama was expecting that they were going to bring gifts to her birthday, but they didn't. I think Sorry was the only one that brought her gifts. She asked about it in a joking way, but I think that she was serious to say, how guys, and late in Jenama gifts we birthday. And then you guys, they're going into the questions because I think the question, hijacking is the one that is bothering everybody. And I guess also the fact that Uzama didn't really want to talk about the kids issue, Angel. Okay. So she's trying to explain, you guys, into Oguti. So everybody can understand. So my question didn't come from her. It's just that they were read at her part. She says everybody was asked. Like I was explaining last week, you guys, because I think I did say what Umabusiseme had explained it. Because actually, when they play games like that, my questions are sort of valid from everybody else, okay? And then they put them, and then okay, they will pretend it's just a game, you know. So she says it didn't come from her, but I do wish that Uzama had just listened a little bit to be like, okay, what did I miss? What did I do wrong? Okay. Because when you are a newbie, you have to be open to building friendships, okay, to be like, okay, maybe for me meeting Uemi for the first time, it wasn't right for me to just go into talking about something that was so sensitive. Instead, you guys, Uzama was concerned about the fact that Unonku is not talking about how Uzama how Amy spoke to her, because Amy was coming for Uzama, okay, because she wasn't happy about the fact that the question was asked. So she's like, so how come you're talking about the question that I asked, but you're not talking about how she spoke to me? I feel like because these people are speaking on the phone, she probably, Uzama was under the impression that Unonku is on her side, because Unonku nabo buxoki, guys, and ngizonkombisa ubuxoki bakhe later on, and ngisazobona futhi ngiyamthanda Unonku, but unabo ubuxoki, okay? Now she's talking as if Jenna, you know, no, you were not supposed to do that to Amy. We were meeting her for the first time. And now Uzaman is like, yeah, but what about the fact that she spoke to me the way that she spoke to me? How come you're just taking one side, you guys? And Unonku says that, you know what, Uzama is heartless and delusional, okay? Listen, I don't agree with the heartless part, but maybe the delusional part. Okay. I do feel like Ozama has this thing like she's deeper than everybody else. And, you know, and it's like in reality can be happening right here and she doesn't see it and she's in her own world. Because obviously, even though she asked the question, it was a good scene. It made a good scene that she asked the question. But you can just come back and say, yeah, maybe it wasn't, maybe it wasn't the right time for me to ask that question. So the conversation didn't really work out, you guys. And Uzama does say, you know what, I thought we were coming here to get to know each other, but this is not about me and you are talking about other people, so maybe we should, take it slow. Uyubona umjolo nje uthi usathi uyaqala umjolo, but you know what, it's not you, it's me. Can we slow down? And you're like, sengenzeni manje? I just came to a date. Now we must take it slow. It was that kind of a situation. And no, because so are you interested in building a friendship with me? And Uzama is like, no. I think I understand Uzama, because really, honestly, she expected that it was going to be about the two of them. But I do feel like she needs to learn to listen just a little bit, you guys. Anyway, George and Opube do have a conversation, you guys, again about him retiring, but I did feel like it was a repetition of what they've already spoken about. So I guess they're just trying to progress their conversation when it comes to his retirement. And Kelvin is trying to, drill it. Now you are becoming the breadwinner. Kind of a situation. So anyway, you guys, and then they did show us a little bit of Unonko. She's planning an event, you guys, and I was like, oh, disaster coming. But Unonko is not really good at planning events, but she has an events planner. Okay, I think it's something to do with her wine. And guys, I was like, Kosiami, the Lord loves us this season because we are not seeing the Queen. I was about to thank the Lord. I was about, thank you, Jesus. We're not going to see the Queen. Okay, I know I love the fashions, but I wasn't ready for the Queen's fashions this season. But she's coming, you guys, because she's coming to the party. And Noko was asking, did the Queen get Loko's an invitation? And she wanted to wear yellow. I think they're supposed to wear something else, and she wants to wear yellow. And I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, I was hoping that it's not this season, but the Queen is coming, you guys. She's probably going to deliver a speech because she did ask to speak, and she's going to pray or something. I don't know, you guys, but she's going to be at the event Kanonko. And I like how this season that you're just trying to make sure that everybody does something in terms of like the events and everything. And instead of just having the same people do the events, okay? I do hope that we do get a trip to this season, okay? Now, this was a cute one, you guys. This scene here, because this is Sorisha and Angel. It's a weird friendship because, of course, there's an age difference, but I'm guessing that Angel has an age difference with all of them because she is the youngest. But I would think that the person that she would be able to relate to the most would be Ujojo, because I believe that Ujojo is younger than everybody else if you exclude Angel, okay? So it was a mommy-daughter kind of a situation, because Sorisha wanted to just be like, listen, I know at the event it did not go so well, and you were trying to speak about something very, very sensitive, but we did not listen to you, so I just want to hear you out. I like that about Sorisha. I was like, this is the old Sorisha. But it's nice to get the mix, you guys. Sometimes when you're just too nice all the time on a reality show, we're like, what are you doing here? Okay, so listen, Sorisha said the thing that touched her about Angel was that Angel said, you know what, I thought that this was a safe space when they were coming for her the last season because of the things she had said, and she was being called a lie. She was like, I thought this was a safe space. So Sorisha said she was touched by that, so she wanted to make sure that she feels that she can talk to them and they are here to support her. Now, you guys, she explains the Maria situation. Let me tell you this, because I've been looking for something that is going to prove to us that Angel did sit privately with Maria and had a conversation that they're saying she's lying about. There was never any private sit down. Everything that was talked about at one of these events that we have seen here on TV on the show. They did have a conversation, she says, but it was in one of the events. And it's a conversation that I guess is not on camera. If it's not on camera, the producers maybe felt like they don't need to see that, but there was a conversation. It just wasn't a private one, because I think Maria, her problem was, Angel was talking as if meet her somewhere for coffee, bakulume about the others. And she says, yes. I think that even though she's trying to make it a sophisticated explanation. The bottom line is that she's basically saying, listen, I did lie about meeting Maria privately and talking about Rowan. And I did admit to her that I did that. Afterwards, she came to me saying, listen, I did not appreciate this. I apologize. So now I'm feeling like I don't know what to do anymore. It's like I want to fix it, but I don't know how to fix it. I did like the fact that even though explanation was not straightforward, but I did kind of feel like she is taking some responsibility to say there are things that I've done wrong here, and I've tried to apologize, but I just don't know what to do anymore because it's just like I'm trying and trying and trying. She's just not accepting my apology. And then you guys, Sorisha was explaining Maria's side to say, listen, Maria went through a lot last year. So I guess this year she doesn't want to be misunderstood in any way. So she does not want people to feel she's talking about them. That is the reason why she's coming for you so much. It's because last year she went through a lot. So it's not personal. Even Angel was saying, listen, I'm not feeling attacked, but if she keeps coming for me, I might feel away after a while because hey, Maria was coming for her last time, but I did feel like they do talk about the fertility issue, you guys, and Sorisha was saying that I'm sorry that we did not focus on you in that moment when you were trying to express yourself about what happened. Okay, so and it gets emotional. I was sharing a tea and I'm like, but it was an emotional scene, you guys. I liked how Sorisha handled that scene, you guys. And I do like the fact that even though I think Sorisha is the oldest. Yeah, Sorisha is the oldest. But when she's hanging on my friendships with these ladies, she's not coming from all the time. She speaks to them, to everybody with respect, even with Angel, who is the youngest, you guys. So what are my other notes? How am I going to do this scene without my notes? Because then I don't remember what happened. So you guys, they go to the event. Where are my notes? I won't remember what happened, Mina. Hey. Again. Then you guys, they go to the event. Whose event was it? Whose event is it that they went to? When they did a conference. I'll have to redo this scene in particular, you guys. But in this event, you guys, they get there. All the ladies are there, you guys. This is where I realized, you know what? The OGs are playing the youngins. And you remember, guys, that Usorisha had said something about Uzama dating men. Ne? Oh, it's Jojo's event, this one. Jojo's event. Jojo is the one that called everybody because she wants them to just, circle things, talk things out. So she had talked about Zama dating men that regret dating Zama, something like that. Ne? That is going to come now in this conversation, but it's not going to come from Sorisha. You know why it's not going to come from Sorisha? Because for some reason, Sorisha is not there when the conversation is taking place, So I feel like behind the scenes, they do talk about these things and then they're like, who's going to bring it? And then the person is like, I guess I bring it up. Okay, guys. Now at the table, the general thing is that I think they are determined that Zama is going to be a villain. But if anybody is going to fight, it's going to be the newbies. Now, Ujojo starts a conversation by saying, listen, you guys, I do feel like we need to talk about what's happening here. She says to Zama, I feel like you don't like Angel. Zama listens. I think Zama is very good at keeping calm, you guys. Okay? And it's going to help her on this show. But I don't know, you guys. I want to see her come for somebody, like in a real way. Okay? Not physical. We don't do physical fights, but I do want her to see, I do want to see her etshela umuntu indaba zakhe in a so it was good that she was conscious. You don't like Angel. You've been going around calling everybody and talking about Angel. The same thing that they were saying. She doesn't own anything. She drives imoto a raggedy, skorokorwana semoto. I'm like, hey, at least una imoto. But Angel did say that she did say with imoto driver because she is an influencer. She get given cars to drive. So even if her own car is an old car, but she drives nice cars. She's arriving at events with nice cars. So who cares? She says, I guess Uzama is trying to prove with all of these cars that she's driving are not hers. She drives an old car. She doesn't own businesses. Her father owns businesses. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. Angel, it felt to me like usehlohliwe yabo mase uhlohliwe bakufonela bathi listen uthi ngawe, and at the table sizombuza, because she just picked up. It wasn't like she was shocked. She didn't go like, she said that, really, she was like, vele ukhuluma ngami mangekho. You're very good at talking about me when I'm not there. Okay. Now Usli picks up. I don't know why I was a little bit disappointed that Usli was making a contribution to the whole thing, because Usli is the one that confirmed, yes, Uzamata did talk about Angel. She called her and talked about Angel. She says, yeah, her response when Angel Uzama was talking about it, because I'm wondering if they were gossiping with you, what did you say when? She says, she said, really, don't lie. That's the clip, don't lie. Really? What else? She said she was responding like that. She said that she was never going to bring up what Zama said about Angel, but she felt like if Zama is going around talking about Angel the same way that she talked to her, because I guess Usli was feeling like she is Zama's friend now because Zama is gossiping with her. She feels like, okay, maybe Zama is gossiping about her too. I'm like, yeah, she is. She's probably telling them you are more broke than we thought you were broke. Because it just sounds like there's a lot going on behind the scenes with the phone calls. Okay. Uzama does say the same thing that I'm saying, you guys, that, okay, it sounds like you guys are just saying I'm calling you to gossip. You guys are not contributing. And then she says, Nongo, didn't you say, guys, listen, I love Nongo, but Nongo is a lie. Nongo is a lie. Okay. She's not a liar. She is a lie itself. Okay. She says, didn't you say that Angel does not know anything about construction? Guess what Nongo's answer was? Copy. And then the editors went straight to the clip where Unonku was saying exactly that to Usorisha. I don't think it's a coincidence, you guys, that Uzama wouldn't just lie about and say you said something that, even though we didn't see Unonku say that thing to Uzama, but she said the very same thing to Sorisha. But they are trying to say Uzama is a liar. Zama is a gossiper. Everybody is gossiping here, but I feel like they've made a decision that they will put everything on Uzama. The same way that last season, when everything didn't go well with Usane, they came back this season and said everything that happened last season was Sane's fault. They just choose a person, but everybody is being messy here, okay? So when she says, didn't you say, Nonku is like, mina, angizange ngize ngisho kanjalo. Listen, I do feel like, of course, Angel is able to stand up for herself. And of course, she went for Zama, telling her, listen, yes, I am a child and I'm a very well kept child, something that you wish that you could be, whatever. I want you to stop talking about my parents. Don't mention my parents out of your filthy mouth and whatever. And I was disappointed in Zama because I was like, sis, we are working here. Where's the comeback? Where is the at least if you're not going to do a comeback, just give me a facial expression. Like Nini Lex sometimes will not even reply to you, but she will just give you something. Like, this is very disappointing. Okay, I don't think that Uzama expected it, you guys, and I think she was caught off guard. But she would be a fool to not realize that she has been picked as a villain, and she can choose, you guys, to just be like, okay, you want me to be a villain? Let me give it to you, okay? Because, guys, it's not a bad thing to be a villain on the show because they always need a villain. And if you're a good villain, then you last longer because they need you to just keep coming back because other people want to seem like they're good. Other people don't want to seem like they're gossiping. So, Mina, I would just, or if I was Zama, I would own it, okay? And I'd be like, yeah, of course, okay? Here is a CIPC record. They say you don't own anything. Okay, I would have come with receipts and everything. If really Angel doesn't have any businesses and all of that, I would have come. If she doesn't own any cars, I would have come with the records. I would be like, I'll be giving them the villain. So I think now she has a choice. She can just choose to be like, listen, they want to make me a villain, let me be a villain. But in that scene, you guys, I absolutely think that she was caught off guard, and she'll be trying to speak, but ngathi she's shaking and all of that, and ours. Listen, Usli, I guess she's coming for Zama because Zama came for Amy. Okay, so in that way, and even though I was disappointed, even you, Slee, even you, but I do understand. She's like, yes, she came for my friend. And then Noemiga made a contribution to say, listen, you were coming for me that day, but you said you Googled me, so I went and I Googled you. So I have all the information on all of the men that you have ever dated. Apparently, Zama dated somebody and allegedly ran away with money. We are going to find that out next week, okay? And Usli is going to be having Emmy's back. She's like, listen, you're not going to come from my friend and upele love. Now, you guys, think about it. Nonko is standing on the side now because she's denying that she ever said that Angel doesn't know anything about construction, even though it's on record that she said it. Jojo is being like the peacemaker now. Can you imagine, guys? Jojo is a peacemaker now. Guys, can we talk things through? Sorisha is not attending the mess, okay? And Maria is just like, she said one thing, Maria, she was like, listen, I know you guys are saying Uzama called all of you, but she never called me. That's the only one who said Angel has never called me to gossip about no, Zama has never called me to gossip about Angel, okay? But now who is fighting? Amy, Angel, Zama, and another newbie Rich, newbie Rich, who is Slee. And the OGs are just sitting there waiting for their check this season. They're like, yeah, I feel like they planned it because you know what, guys, this season, let's not do much. We're just going to be messy behind the scene and just let them fight. And because these three are newborn, they're going in at it instead of just watching and being like, oh, she said that about me. Oh, okay. And then afterwards, call Zama, let's do a sit down. Make me understand. They talk it out. They shout at each other. They apologize. Next episode, next group meeting, they thinking these two are still fighting. Baba Bonesa be happy. Game. But I feel like they don't say it. Okay. Anyway, let me read the comments, you guys, and then I will be out of here. I don't know. I'm missing one page of my notes. I would like to talk about every single thing that happened. But if I see something that I didn't talk about on this last scene, I'll do another video, guys. Joshua and Nonko's relationship, childish. I think I had read that one. Then if so, Zuma is messy. Zama is messy, but very sorry. She have been complaining about the husband not giving her and kids time. She has been complaining, so it is weird that this season she's making a U-turn to say no. I actually prefer him to work. But last season you were saying that you need him to slow down. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, do you need him to work or do you not need him to work? Okay. And I guess, people always try to present their relationships as perfect, and they have a right to do so. And the washing age, you guys, they also think Uzama is lying about her age. Guys, she might be right, because someone even said I don't remember who it was in the comment section, who said, on soapies, sometimes you can act somebody older when you are younger, maybe at that time. Then, guys, I'm really joking about Uzama being on TV when I was in high school, but it was a long time ago when she was on TV, because it was a time where I was still watching Generations. Okay, so I really honestly didn't think that she was only going to turn 40 now. Okay. Present and looking forward to how believe because I'm years of Queen next week. I thought we were taking a break, but I was like, okay, let them give her like one episode or something. Hopefully, believe break Queen years the next episode, you guys. I really thought because they were giving her a break, we were not gonna see her this season. But guys, there's a scene I'm forgetting to talk about. How can I? Mostly, you guys gets to talk to her kids about her spiritual gift, you guys. And apparently the father side of the kids is they are Christians. So, and then I guess when it's or something, I guess he was just trying to get the kids to talk openly about how they feel about the situation. and also saying to them, listen, you don't have to feel pressure to believe in what I believe in. Just take your time and you will choose for yourself what you want to believe in. There is no pressure to do exactly what I do. And I appreciated that for the kids because I do imagine how much of a challenge is, because apparently I think they even said that at some point they were not allowed to go see their mother because they didn't want them to be influenced by her beliefs or something like that. So they did have that conversation. Her girls have grown since last season, especially the older one. I was like, "Hey, bo, kwase kuba usisomdala kangaka." They've grown, you guys. Of course, it's great to see Usli. Guys, I like if you watch closely, Usli is really giving us a reality of the realest of the reality TV this season, because I think she's the one that we've seen the most. She has shot the most scenes without makeup. Okay, just Usli, ukuthi nje muhle Nkosi yami, khona abantu abahle nje, you know? Khona abantu abavuka nje ekuseni bebahle, whether inole zishort zinde, weave, no weave, whatever, muhle nje. So she's given us most scenes, she does not have makeup. Uyigqokela nje iy'ngubo zakhe. You know, every woman has ingubo enza ngayo washing ekhaya. You know, the dress that she was wearing today, I was like, le ingubo le ibuka njengeingubo kwenza washing ekhaya ke le. She's just relaxed this season, you guys. She's not making like extra effort. You know, they were at they were getting foot massages with her kids or pedicures or something. So they were just relaxed and she was just looking simple, you know. And I think that's her thing. This is just like, listen, man, fika nginjena, this season nginje. But now I get it also, you guys. I think you have to be very wise about how much you spend on this show. If you're going to be, because imagine if every single scene you have to bring glam for you to shoot a scene. And that's expensive for you because that means you have to have somebody doing your makeup and a stylist. If you do have a stylist, you have to have an outfit. There has to be scenes where you can just wear your pinify and shoot, okay? And then you can dress up maybe if there is an event. So I do like that, but that's because it's me, you guys. I like just to keep it simple most of the time, okay? LOL ngikubona konke but uNonku esephika into ayishoyo akaqala ukuphika wena uSipho akaqali nje ukuphika uNonku uyazi ukuthi uyozavume at the reunion after she watches the show back, then she will be like, actually I realized that I did say that I had forgotten, but the Lord Jesus has forgiven me because he gives me all the chances. Hey, wait for it. You know, the thing will have Jesus inside, Jesus and God inside, and then uNonku uzobe seqedile njalo. Yeah, nami ngithele ngithi hey sambamba uNonkulu la ukuthi uyishilo lento uyishilo. I think if she said it to one person, then there's a chance that she said it to the other. So as much as Uzama is messy, but you know they're also messy too. Thank God, the new Nonku Uze uthi thank God I'm the new. That's exactly how are you the new Nonku when you're still lying out here. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this scene. Anyway, since my notes went missing, if I remember anything, you guys know I'll do a video. Anyway, you guys, I'm still enjoying the show, you guys. I'm definitely enjoying the newbies. And but I'm guys, hey guys, this. Who Annie was here? Guys. Oh, this show. So they acted. She was at the event, Josh's event. Oh, this show. So they act like, did they still act like this? Did I used to act like this too? I'm like, girl, we know that you're not doing the show this season because you and her husband are going through some things. Otherwise, you would be here. Why are you now acting like, they do this on this show? Oh, did we act like this too? Oh my God, the newbie, you are just new here. I'm like, what is Annie doing here? Guys, listen, I thought I was going to be missing, and I was one of those people that was disappointed when they said Annie is not coming back. I was like so disappointed. But seeing her this episode, I was like, hey, banang umuntu ezositshela ngathi ke manje. Hey, goduka hamba, go take care of your husband, okay? Hey, didn't they say you're taking care of your mental health? Now where are you here in the noise? Hey. I was like, I know, I just didn't like Annie's appearance, okay, because she was acting all. As much as I didn't like Zama coming for Amanda, because Nyama's Amanda, but angithandanga when they acted like Uzama uye kuphela bekhuluma bona bethuli yes. Everybody has spoken about everybody knew about that hijacking. If they didn't know when they went to the party, When they left, they Googled. So everybody knows about the hijacking, but there's going to act like, oh my god, you know. So yeah, I also don't. I also think Uzama is being messy. I don't know, you guys, if I'm liking her Uzama, but I definitely wouldn't say ukuthi, "Hayi, akaphumeleli na," you know, like when we used to. I think like when Makomalo joined the season, I think by the third season, we were like, because she was so quiet and not participating, we're like, hey, what is she doing here? So these newbies, you guys, they got in and they participated. Whether it's a mess or it's a real storyline, it's not a real storyline, but they're participating. So there's something that I like about each of them, okay? But they are big. Zama is messy, but definitely, you guys, go impossible. We are here go gossip if you gossip with somebody. When you're trying to gossip with somebody and they're like, okay, and you're like, yo, lo, uzongithutha. You don't continue, you don't say a lot. The thing that encourages you to say a lot when you are gossiping is when somebody's like, yes, and I also saw it. Did you see this, and then now she's in. But because again, we don't have a recording, I guess, even with Zama, it's going to be difficult for her to prove it. Okay. But I hope next time she's gonna be ready for them. Okay. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me in the comment section. We had Nomfundo, Machika. Thank you so much, guys. Please check out Nomfundo's channel. You can actually click here on her name when we leave so that you can check out her channel. Jabus Nyong was here. Nosipom Kiza was here. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I appreciate it so much. It's so nice to hang out. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like the stream, you guys, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Don't forget to like. Also share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Tanda. Cool.